Today, I'm going to be recreating 6 different scenes from the best Star Wars movie of all time out of LEGO. Kicking things off is the opening battle, which features a bunch of cool ships that LEGO have actually made into real-life sets. There's a mini-scale invisible hand for the Separatists, the Interceptors for Anakin and Obi-Wan, some Arc 170s that look like little bugs, and an Ultima Collector's Series Venator, which will make a massive dent in your wallet. And whilst that set is super cool, it is a little too big, expensive, and out of scale for what I had in mind. So instead, I decided to pick up one of the Arc 170 Starfighters. It feels a little bit squished down for what I would consider to be minifigure scale, but it looks super clean and comes complete with all of the pilots that I need. However, I need to make it fly. My goal is to make a space battle display, with each of the ships flying as if they're heading to attack the Separatist ships. I figured the best method to do this was by utilizing some acrylic display stands, which I often use to display my own collection. As the Arc 170 has a flat base, I was easily able to just snap it onto these display stands without making any modifications. Next up was to build Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptors. And unfortunately, none of these sets are currently available. The closest is Obi-Wan's Starfighter, which is handy in the minifigure and droid department, but definitely not what I need for this scene. I hunted online for a bit and ended up finding one that released in 2016, and despite being almost 10 years old at this point, the set really holds up well. So using the Obi-Wan body and head from the Jedi Starfighter set, I added his episode 3 hairpiece and then threw him in the cockpit with R4 by his side. Finally was to have Anakin's, which luckily I already had this in my collection, as well as a specialty stand for it. However, unfortunately, his body doesn't exactly match this scene. So I ended up taking the head off the minifigure that came with the set and then putting it on the brand new Anakin as shown in Ahsoka's Interceptor in order to make this little hybrid that I then put in the cockpit alongside one of the double-sided torsoed R2-D2s. With the ships now placed, the battle is now in action and Palpatine's plot is fully underway. So thanks to some LEGO sets and a couple of handy display stands, our first scene is now done. Despite being a very central part to Coruscant and the grander Star Wars universe as a whole, LEGO have never made a proper Jedi Temple set. Now, I can't imagine why this would be, but it is really disappointing. But nonetheless, it is the next location I want to recreate. There have been some amazing recreations of the Jedi Temple in all sizes, including a minifigure scale model complete with light-up lightsabers by Solid Brick Studios. What I'm planning to do on the other hand though is considerably smaller, and I based it a lot off this mini model that I found by Top Aces and modified things slightly as I went in order to make it look a little bit more accurate, as well as possible only using pieces in my existing LEGO collection. I wanted to use these corner slope pieces like in their model, however it turns out they were only actually ever in 2 sets several years ago, so they're quite expensive, and instead I decided to use these basic slopes. This meant I had to sacrifice some of the pyramid style shape a little bit, but even without them, I still feel like the slopes alone captured the shape and style of the temple. For an added bonus too, I threw on a bunch of flame pieces and a stack of ice cream cones in order to have an Order 66 variant ready to go. I'm still hopeful that LEGO will make a real Jedi Temple set eventually, but for now, I think this mini model is good enough for me. Next up is what has to be one of the most popular memes from the prequel trilogy, as well as one of the coolest showdowns we see in the movie, and that is Obi-Wan versus General Grievous. This battle takes place across a large landscape, however, given how iconic the "hello there" line is, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to make the hangar bay. For this, I created a base much like the diorama sets and then added a tiled off floor. I created the main straight by stacking bricks horizontally and then slotted it in using the border and existing plate pieces to hold it tight in place. Then once the base was complete, I began to build some wall sections. For the main one, I ended up having to build the entire thing inverted. Despite being a little bit of an unconventional building technique, I was able to build up everything I wanted to and ended up connecting it to the base using these tiny stud pieces. With the build as clean and relatively simple looking as it is, not only can it double as the scene of the duel, but also the heartbreaking moment where Cody is instructed to execute Order 66. But the funny thing is, if General Grievous really wanted Obi-Wan's saber so bad, he could have just used today's sponsor, NSabers. NSabers are a longtime friend of the channel and make up majority of my ever-growing lightsaber collection. They have a wide range of custom and replica sabers, including Obi-Wan's from episode 3, which is the latest addition to my collection. I personally love displaying these up against my Star Wars LEGO sets, and each of these lightsabers comes with a variety of different colors, sounds, and effect options, so you can have them be screen accurate or customize it to however you'd like. The blade is super lightweight, making it really good for spinning, as well as some light dueling. However, the hilt itself is a lot heftier and made of really sturdy and nice metal. For reference as well, this one is the NeoPixel version, but each of the lightsabers come with a little display stand so you can put it on your shelf really nice and easily, and most importantly, they are super easy to recharge. So to celebrate the re-release of Revenge of the Sith, as well as upcoming May 4th weekend, NSabers and I are teaming up to give away one of these Obi-Wan Episode 3 lightsabers to you. So if you want to win, be sure to subscribe down below and let me know what your dream Revenge of the Sith Lego set would be in the comments below. The entries will close at 12 AM Eastern on May the 4th, so best of luck, and thank you so much to NSabers for sponsoring this video. One scene I was really hoping that LEGO would revisit this year was Palpatine's arrest. This by far is one of the most iconic and coolest scenes out of the entire movie. It's such a turning point in the story and I think would have made a really cool diorama. So when I saw this diorama of Palpatine's office by Kyle Janin, I could not resist and purchased the instructions for myself. He is an incredibly talented mock builder and has done so many fun Star Wars playsets and dioramas that are all available on Rebrickable, and I was super excited to build this one in person for myself. This custom model is exactly what I was hoping for in a LEGO set by taking a lot of the elements from the original Star Wars diorama series and combining it in a beautiful Revenge of the Sith little playset. However, since it's a custom set, I had to go through my minifigure collection in order to source out all of our key characters. This of course includes Palpatine, Anakin, Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, but unfortunately not these two Jedi that I can't remember their names of because they are a little too expensive for my liking. But something I really like about this custom set is how closely it resembles the official Palpatine set that LEGO released a few years ago. In my eyes though, it is a lot cleaner of a model and also fits way better on my shelf. But one other really fun thing about this custom set in particular is that because it is Palpatine's office, I can also recreate a couple of other scenes from throughout the movie using a variety of different minifigures. But at least for now, I am just gonna stick with the Palpatine's arrest scene since it is one of the more impactful ones from the movie. Another amazing custom set by Kyle Janin that I found and bought instruction for is his version of the Galactic Senate. Like the Jedi Temple, this is something we have never seen LEGO do, and I feel like his custom model is exactly what I would expect. Each section connects with a clip piece, allowing the whole thing to be very modular and rearrange exactly how you want. There are also two little small builds that I put on the side, which are from the office underneath the Senate, where you'll find Yoda and Palpatine dueling. To top it all off, I decorated it with Senators Bail Organa and Padme Amidala, as well as another few loyal Empire followers, though with some modifications you could also kit it out for Yoda's final duel before exile. I'm a really big fan of his work, and if you're wanting to build them for yourself, I will leave a link to his instructions down in the description below, but that is our next set complete. And last but certainly not least is my favorite scene out of the entire Star Wars franchise, the Duel on Mustafar. I cannot express to you how much I love this sequence, but this scene alone is what got me into collecting LEGO Star Wars, all thanks to this tiny little Duel on Mustafar set. The minifigures look absolutely fantastic. I really love the tattered robe print detail. I think it's so unique and fun, and Anakin's Sith eyes here are the best that LEGO has ever made. With the build itself, I love that it can open and close up for varied display options and also have the platforms moving for dueling. The color scheme feels so authentic to the planet in the movie, and I feel like now LEGO just doesn't make locations like this for Star Wars anymore, let alone at this size and price point. There's also enough detail and recognizable elements from the duel located in this set, which is so impressive just given the scale. This time around too, I added in a few light up lightsaber pieces to top it all off, and now that this set is rebuilt, I'm gonna have to find space for it on my shelf to display it once again because I just love this build so much. So those are all 6 scenes recreated from Revenge of the Sith. Let me know what your favorite one is down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to enter the NSabers giveaway if you want a chance to win an Obi-Wan lightsaber. But until next time, I'll see you later.